This is Leaf Life. All things cannabis for all people. Now, Ricker and the Bearded Lorax.
We publish a free magazine called The Leaf, and it's available in print in 14 states at your local cannabis retailer. That's where you pick it up. But you can also get it online at leafmagazines.com. Check it out. I'm Mike Ricker. I'm your host of Leaf Life with my co-host and partner, Wes Abney, also known as the Bearded Lorax.
I speak for the trees.
And there's AJOG.
Hola, aloha OGs.
And Mary J. White.
Baked with love.
Superheroes and super zeros are some of the archetypes that fill our need for escape into the silver screen. But as the film industry evolves, so do our tastes for what's entertaining. And as cannabis becomes more of a factor socially, how will it affect the studios and which pictures they choose to make? This is Movies and Cannabis V3.
Dude, where's my car?
Where's the bong? That's what I want to know.
The classic, right?
Our first segment, The State of Hollywood. And our second segment, The Next Pineapple Express. Or the next, Dude, where's my car? But before we get educated, we've got to get medicated. So let's get stoned.
Yeah, all right. Bring it on.
All right. So wherever your days led you, now it is time to fire up, chew up that edible, or drink up that drinkable edible, but get in the mood as we introduce this show's Greg the Guinea Pig.
Hi, I'm Greg, and Ricker used to try his weed out on me. But now it's someone else's turn to be the guinea pig.
Hey, we got him back for the third time. We're very fortunate. This man is a staple in journalism, and especially entertainment journalism in the city of Seattle. That's where we are located. HQ for The Leaf is in Seattle. This is where it was born in 2010. And way back before then, there was a magazine or a newspaper, whatever. I don't know, what is it, Charles?
It was a weekly.
A weekly
it's a
called
weekly.
The Stranger.
Not a Seattle weekly.
And by the way, I loved I Anonymous. That's always a catchy little clip in the very
we
beginning.
still have that.
Still have I Anonymous.
Yes, on the website.
I have to admit that at the end of this show and in the inside back cover of every Leaf magazine, I do a segment called Stony Baloney, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say that I Anonymous has always been an influence on my acerbic approach to pop culture and social commentary.
Nice.
And that's what Stony Baloney is. So big ups to The Stranger.
Yes.
And Charles is a senior staff writer and film critic for that weekly, Seattle's only remaining newspaper.
Yes.
So way to go. Thank you for coming back in here, Charles. Always great to talk movies with you.
And always a pleasure to be here.
All right.
Yeah.
So Charles isn't going to be smoking because he's got to go watch serious movies. Stoner movies. Dude, where's my cars on Saturday night?
I'm a lightweight. I am such a lightweight.
Fair. So we're going to call in a pinch hitter.
And now, stepping up to the plate, here's today's pinch hitter.
All right. And there's AJOG. Go ahead and spin that wheel, AJ.
All right. Let's see here, y'all. Okay.
All right, AJ, what do you got?
All right, y'all. We got 22K's solventless liquid hash rosin.
Oh.
My goodness. I am excited. And I really like their packaging, actually. It's quite vibrant looking. And on the back, it gives you some quick pointers. It says this is whole plant extract, water extract, which is, of course, live rosin. And you're going to get a full spectrum hit here from this awesome vape. So let's check it out.
And we're a California company, by the way, 22K.
Yes, Trop cherry strain coming my way.
Let's go. Nice little sativa there, AJ.
Cherry.
All right.
Oh, a sativa to get us started for the day.
Is it
yeah.
delicious?
It really is. It's very smooth.
Yeah.
I definitely like the terps on that. And
color looks good, too.
Yeah, look at how gold that is. Nice and clear. Beautiful rosin. Well done, team.
All right, 22K.
Gotta love the rosin cards.
Got to.
Yes.
Let's get into it. The state of Hollywood. Things have changed down there. I forget the guy's name, Charles, but he's now the head of Warner Pictures, and he's done a ton of cutting.
Cutting.
Just cutting back, just cutting costs, cutting projects, cutting budgets. And Hollywood is in a state of panic right now because there's very few projects comparatively being made. And so, the ones that do get made are big studio budgets, and you never know if it's gonna hit or not. And the Hollywood's been losing money for a long time now. Barbie was a huge hit last summer, and that infused some capital into Hollywood. But there's got to be these big successes for them to make the smaller movies as well. Otherwise, it's big blockbusters, and they look for that one, or $200 million profits, and they keep going that way. And so there's not a lot of independent films, from what I can tell, being made these days, or at least not as many as there used to be. And that's where art is. And that's where, people like you and me, Charles, we love those types of movies. And you said it before we started recording today, that when you get high, you like a slow movie. Most people like fast-paced movies, but there's got to be a balance, in my opinion, for it to have longevity. Because eventually you cut off your nose to spite your face. The radio industry did, or the record industry did it, and radio when the 2008 when the recession hit. Mary, they cut all the big budgets, and the next thing you know, there's no soul to the industry. All the talent's gone, right? So it's in flux right now, Hollywood. Now, that's my opinion. I live in Los Angeles, so I've got a very limited view of it. Tell me yours.
Well, the really important thing is when you look at the stoner classics, and I always say, like, go and look between 2005 to back to 1995. That's actually a golden era for stoner classics, right? No, I'm not kidding you, right? But if you looked at all of them, Dudes, Where's My Car,
But I'm talking about big budget. I'm talking about major movies.
I'm saying that what you're saying is correct, but that all those films came out of independent filmmaking. None of them were studio films.
The cult classics.
The cult classics, none of them, they were all indie films.
Cheech and Chong?
Wow.
Yeah, all of them were, right? The studios have never really backed those kinds of films.
Wow.
Right, just go and look at the record and look at all of them that were made and so forth and so on. All right, and you find this is consistent. So once you choke the lifeline to these independent filmmakers, be they making those kinds of films or any other kind of films, you've sort of cut a wide area of creativity, right, in the filmmaking industry. Now, right now, there's a real big problem is that, it's one of those things where for a long time, people were sort of like, I want to use an example of crack, right? They were, and the crack was superhero films.
Oh.
And they just went hard on that pipe, right? They just went hard, and they didn't let go, right? And there was nothing else, right? They would green light, right, at that scale.
The money was there.
The money was there. And
Shazam.
Shazam. And then
Blue Beetle.
Right. Then
now
suddenly,
they're failing.
Yeah, now 2 years ago, it started to crumble. Right?
The Marvels.
The Marvels started to crumble and all this stuff. People started like blaming, this, you started doing that Spider-Man, who's to blame for the situation. But it's just, it was over. People were tired. They were just not going to see it. And so it's not a surprise that last year Hollywood was caught by surprise, right? Because what you had was a film about a nuclear physicist, right?
Oppenheimer.
Oh, God. And it was
which went to make $1 billion.
And
right?
won Best Picture.
And all this stuff. And then you had Barbie, which were just completely the opposite of what they've been sort of pushing, right? Into the theaters. And so they just were not ready. And so either they're playing scrambling right now, right? Or trying to figure out how to go from this new point, this new direction. We don't know. Yeah. Some are just saying, to hell with it, we're just cutting our budgets. Disney's doing something similar as well.
They've had a few
they're pulling
of the
back.
kind of woke remake flops.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. And so, but they were trying to do anything to revive, a forum that was already in decline. And it's really hard for people to figure out what to do. But to do something of the version you're already doing.
Well, now we're going to see 5 Barbie movies.
Probably.
And then a spinoff of Ken.
Yeah, so we're going to see a lot of dolls coming in like, what
where I live in El Segundo, which is right next to LAX, and it is the home of Mattel.
And also a great Tribe Called Quest song.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Left my wallet in El Segundo. I did leave my wallet in El Segundo. And I went to the LAX to fly here, and a true story. I made it to Seattle and back without a fucking ID.
What?
Wow, nice.
Yeah, I got lucky, but I made it through. Now, I do have clear, and that counts, okay, because I was able to shuffle in, but I couldn't believe it. I made it. I did it. Anyways, back to the story. Mattel is based in El Segundo. So now they're going to be licensing their 50-plus toys for movies. You know, now you're going to see a G.I. Joe movie. You know, they didn't work 20 years ago, but now their superhero burnout is real, right?
Yes.
They leaned too fucking heavy on that one genre, and they abandoned real filmmaking. Because real filmmaking isn't necessarily done in the editing room or the special effects room.
Yeah.
It's done in camera, right? With a beautiful script.
Yeah,
Apocalypse Now.
They can't even do a decent detective film anymore.
Shit.
How much of
the Private Eye movie? Look it up.
Oh, I'll see. Yeah.
How much of it is the combination of the writer's strike and the pandemic changing the narrative to where, you know, you have so many different requirements to make a film and to get nominated for a film now, and there's been so much constriction on comedy. Also, and what people can say and what I hear when I listen to comedy podcasts is that the old movies, a movie like White Chicks, or even, you know, Dude, Where's My Car? The scene at the takeout, you know, like none of that could be remade today, like because it would be offensive. But it's like comedy is often both offensive and funny, and it points out, you know, kind of everyone equally. And that was always the South Park thing. Yeah. Was we make fun of everyone.
Right.
Not, you know, not just one group or another group, but everyone. And then South Park just ripped Disney apart recently, you know, and it was hard to watch them ripping on Disney. Like it was hard to watch that because it wasn't even funny almost. It was almost sad to me that we've lost the creative spirit of free filmmaking where you can, as an artist, say anything, represent anything. And it's like now it has to be in these, it feels to me, in these set genres with these set, you know.
Well, and I think
walls.
what we're talking about too is the absolute truth of the dichotomy between capitalism and creativity. Right? Yeah, we'd love, you know, fresh films and great art and stuff like that. But if it doesn't make any fucking money, we ain't doing it. So they don't go together.
Capitalism.
Yeah.
And the second set, we'll talk about the next Pineapple Express. Where are the stoner films? Are they coming back? But first, Charles, it's time for you to play Would You Rather.
Would you rather? Would you rather? What would you rather do? Would you rather?
She's like, what?
Charles? Are you prepared for this?
Yeah.
He's so confident. He's like, bring it, motherfucker. Shit. Why are you even asking me? How you feeling, Charles?
I'm top form.
You know, Charles, during the pandemic, started smoking cannabis, and it changed his life.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
He loves a high CBD product for his health and wellness. But he loves a little THC later in the evening when he's chilling at the house, right?
That's been me.
And the first show you were on, you were like, nope, I don't smoke weed. The second show, you're like, I smoke weed now.
Yeah.
And now this time, you know, we record early in the day, so we respect the fact that you still have to go work. But tonight, you're going to fucking do a big fat bong hit, aren't you?
And walk around the streets.
God bless you.
Yeah.
Has it helped your writing?
You know it hasn't.
There you go.
But it does help your
Naturally
ideas so that you can, when you're sober, go right.
No,
Correct?
it helps me really enjoy being with the city and people.
Puts you in the now.
Puts me in the now.
Makes things a little weird.
And I love being,
And you live on Capitol Hill, right?
Yeah.
It's a very weird place.
And I
bro.
love listening to music and walking around the city. It's really
nice.
It saves me. It makes life meaningful for me.
Wonderful.
I love that.
Beautiful.
All right, here we go, Charles. Number one. Would you rather drink a glass of wine with Francis Ford Coppola or smoke a joint with Stanley Kubrick?
I'd go. Oh gosh, you know, I'd go for the. I'd drink wine with Coppola.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially since he has a vineyard and it's delicious.
It's true. Yeah, but I don't like Stanley Kubrick.
The Godfather. You don't like his films? Too weird, huh?
Yeah. I'd feel like I wouldn't feel comfortable being relaxed around him.
But he wasn't a weird guy though. He just made weird films.
Yeah. But I'm not a fan.
Okay.
He's got to be a weird guy.
To me,
on the inside.
This comes from his brain.
Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
All right, number 2. Would you rather review the next James Franco directed movie for the Los Angeles Times, or review the next Alejandro G. Iñárritu directed film for The Stranger in Seattle?
Ask that one more time.
That was a tough pronunciation, Charles.
Yeah.
Would you rather review the next James Franco directed film for the LA Times, or review the next Alejandro G. Iñárritu directed film for The Stranger here in Seattle? It's a tough one.
I'd go for the first one.
You would, the LA Times?
Yeah.
You'd review the James Franco piece of garbage instead of the...
I'm not a James Franco hater.
Well, neither am I, but we're talking about a back-to-back Oscar award-winning director in Iñárritu.
Yeah, I know, but...
okay.
He likes the fun films.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and his portrayal of a white rapper in
Spring Breakers.
Spring Breakers.
You know what's up. That's called.
Always throws me on the floor.
Yeah. Fair.
My favorite is when the noose is around his neck.
Yeah.
And he turns to the guy and he's like, first time.
Yeah.
And it's like a cowboy remake and he's about to get, hung for being a bad guy. And he's like, first time, huh? It's like, what?
And number 3, Charles.
Yeah.
Would you rather direct the next great American masterpiece that changes the course of cinema by integrating your unique vision that is implemented by a nouveau technique you drew from a dream and then implemented into your revolutionary craft through your inexplicable lens work that no director could replicate without first gaining license and proper instruction, deeming you the most radical filmmaker since the advent of pictures? Or come back for the second segment of this Leaf Life podcast?
I'd go for the second.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I can't believe in the first.
Don't limit yourself,
It's too
brother.
outrageous.
If you want to discover cannabis news, reviews, entertainment, and culture, and explore every Leaf magazine at your convenience, search leafmagazines.com. Coming up in our second segment, we'll talk about what might be the next Pineapple Express or, dude, where's my car? We'll get another spin of AJ's wheel and kick it all off with another episode of Not for Nothing with Mary J. White. Leaf Life continues in just a moment.
These products have intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming.
Marijuana can impair concentration, coordination, and judgment.
Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence of this drug.
There may be health risks associated with consumption of these products.
For use by adults 21 and older.
Keep out of the reach of children.
Some of the wardrobe, including Ricker Wes's sick lids, provided by Grassroots California. Check out the dopeness at grassrootscalifornia.com.